Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Monday, June 14th, 2021. So I wanted to do a second video for you guys. And I wanted to talk about this because I think this is very telling. Very, very telling, okay? So I'm going to run some things by, well, I'm going to do that in just a second. But, so here, how bizarre is this? So we started out nice and sunny this morning. Then the clouds came in when it rained for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, nice and steady, good soaking for the garden, which was great. And then the sun came back out, cleared up like it is now, and like it never rained at all. It's so weird, so very strange. I find that very interesting. So I got to show you guys something that's interesting. So Becky looked it up. And all of our marigolds, okay, so we planted all these marigolds and they all look like little trees, right? They look fantastic, they're great, but there's no marigolds, there's no flower. And so Becky looked it up and she said, why do we not have any flowers on our marigolds? And they said because if the soil is too rich, which is composted cow manure, that's the reason why we ended up with no flowers on our marigolds this year. And I'm like, how crazy is that? So just going to show you these other ones as well here. Yeah, look at it. So no flowers, nice tall plants. The plants look fantastic, but we're not getting any flowers off of any of them. So bizarre. All right, so let's get into the topic, guys. I'm going to talk about Big Pharma. All right, some interesting facts for you guys, and I think that this is amazing. Hold on a second. Let me go back to where I was at. All right. So Americans, we make up 5% of the world population. 5%, right? But we consume 65% of the world's pharmaceutical drugs. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. We use 65% of the world's pharmaceutical drugs, and we make up 5% of the world's population. So in other words, we take more drugs than the whole world combined. Think about that, okay? Big Pharma. Oh, so let's talk about this one too. Hold on a second. 80 drug commercials every hour of every day. 80 drug commercials every hour of every day. Think about that. Big Pharma spends 19 times more on advertisements than they do on research. Let that sink in, okay? Just let that kind of marinate. There is a huge, huge business with keeping people addicted to whatever pharmaceuticals that they are putting out there. I'm going to tell you, I look at some people, and I'm going to give you an example, and I'm not going to say the young lady's name, okay? But a young lady, my daughter's age, when they were kids, and I'm talking 12, 13 years old, this kid used to take like 12 or 15 pills a day. Now, what I have noticed that does happen, once kids get into the system, okay, foster care, they're taken away from their parents or for whatever reason, if they have issues, if they're a troubled kid, first thing they do is they bang them full of all kinds of medication for supposedly ADHD or whatever the other things that they're going to diagnose them with. So what they end up doing is they make lifelong customers. I'll give you another example, and I'll use my own son as an example. They wanted Eddie. They had said, maybe Eddie needs to be on something. And I said, listen, my son's fine at home because you people don't know how to deal with him correctly, and you let him act the way that he acts at school. Why should I put my son on a medication to make your lives easier? I said, I'm not doing it. And I never did, okay? To me, it's complete and utter horse crap that they do these things. And they do it all the time. They take these kids, they get them started, they put them on all these medications, and you know, it's a vicious cycle. These doctors, they get incentives from these pharmaceutical companies if they come out with a new drug, and they say, hey, listen, we got this new drug, and you know, push it on your patients, and we're gonna, you know, reward you for that. And so that's what they do. Okay. To me, that is just look. I have a shadow. What are you doing? Are you hanging out with me? Oh, you're so cute. You are. You're a cute little girl. Yeah, you are. So, what I'm going to say that number one more time, so that you guys can let this sink in. We make up 5% of the world's population, but we consume 65% of the pharmaceuticals in this country. That is frightening. That is frightening. That is an agenda that has been pushed on this country for a long time. You wonder why so many people are actually sick and have a lot of issues. I think it is exactly because of those reasons. Because when you take XYZ drug, I'm going to give you a great example, okay? So, when I had my surgery for cancer, guys, I'm going to tell you what, I take nothing. I take Advil. If I have a headache, I take a couple of Advil. If I'm in discomfort, I take a couple of Advil. That's it. That's all I take is Advil, all right? When I had my surgery for cancer, I was prescribed Oxy with Tylenol, okay? 7.5 milligrams, I believe, was what they gave me. I was in a tremendous amount of pain. So one of the things that they gave me also, because of taking Oxy, they gave me a stool softener, because one of the side effects of taking pharmaceuticals or narcotics is that you cannot have a bowel movement. So you have to take something that keeps you going on that. So every time, you're so freaking cute. Every time they got you on this drug, they have to give you the next drug to counteract the effects of that drug. As soon as I could stop taking those stupid pills, I did. I never took nearly as much as they said that I needed to take. Never did. I hate pills. I absolutely hate pills. So this is what's being pushed on us, guys. When you're talking about 80 pharmaceutical commercials every hour of every day, think about that. When they're spending 19 times more on commercials than they are on research, think about that. Okay? It's amazing to me. Truly, truly amazing. You know, and we just continue to be just walking down a road going, okay, whatever you tell us to do, that's what we're going to do. It's amazing to me. It just blows me away. It absolutely blows me away. That's why, like I said, I'm going to tell you what. I'm pretty healthy. I've been very, very fortunate in my life. I have pain like anybody else has pain. I deal with it, you know. If I need to have a hot soak in a tub, that's what I'm going to do. If I need to take that hot shower and, you know, really sit in there and try to loosen up my muscles or whatever the case may be, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to become a lifelong customer to help make Big Pharma rich. I'm not going to do it. Think about that. I'm curious, like with you guys watching, I'm going to ask you this because I know I have a lot of, you know, people my age and older that watch the channel. How many medications are you on? That would be an interesting question, okay? And every time you go to the doctor, right, they want to give you something else. I don't go to the doctor, so I just don't. I'll give you a great example. So when I had my issue with my back, and I thought, you know, I'm like, okay, I got this lump on there. I got to figure out what's going on here. Obviously turned out to be cancer, but I called my doctor's office and I said, yeah, I need to come in. I want to get a checkup, but I know you guys moved your offices, so what is the new address? And the lady says to me, Sir, we moved our offices 3.5 years ago. It was at least 3 years, but I think it was like 3.5. We moved our offices 3.5 years ago. I said, yeah, I don't come to the doctor as much, and so, I always thought that was funny because it's like they had moved their offices that many years previous, and I just hadn't been to the doctor. So, because what they would do is they had me with the one doctor, and then I would get like a letter in the mail. You've been transferred to Doctor So and So. Yeah, because I never go. Oh my God, too funny, too funny. I'll tell you right now, I don't even have a doctor right now. Don't even have a doctor. I just don't go. I don't have anything that I'm concerned about at the moment. And, I was starting to have some issues, like I told you guys, with sleep apnea, right? So what did I do? I lost 20 pounds. Sleep apnea is gone. It's amazing how that works, okay? Changed my diet, changed my habits, changed what I was doing, and it makes all the difference in the world. It really, truly does. So, we have this opportunity to take care of ourselves in a really, really great way. Our bodies are very, very resilient if we're given the chance. But if you get yourself where you are, I'll give you a great example of something else. And this is one that always, always bothered me, okay? So somebody gets on antidepressants, all right? They're depressed because whatever reason, all right? We all go through it, folks. Everybody goes through depression. You don't need pills to get you out of being depressed. So what happens is they get you hooked on these antidepressants, and then you can't stop taking them. Then you're taking them for the rest of your lives. You know, it is just, it's a vicious, vicious cycle. And then if you decide you don't want to take them anymore, either you have to be weaned off or given something else, not as strong, because your body's going to have an adverse reaction to coming down, basically, from that medication that you were given. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I really want to hear what you think about this. But again, we consume, in the United States, 5% of the world population, 5%. And we consume 65% of the pharmaceuticals in the world. That is insane to me. It is absolutely insane. So what that tells me is there's a lot of people being given medication that they don't need to have. There's no reason in God's green earth that a 12 or 13-year-old kid should be taking 14 different pills in a day. No reason for that. None whatsoever. I'm sorry, but, if they're taking something for allergies or something like that, I get it, okay? But all that other crap this kid was taking was unbelievable. Completely unnecessary. And, who's reaping the rewards? Big Pharma, baby. They're making that money. So think about that, okay? So anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here. I still have my shadow. She followed me the whole way I walked all around. You're such a good little baby. You really are. Oh, little fluff ball. Get over here. Come over and see me. Yes. Yes. Oh, I hear your little purr box going. Yes, I do. Oh, she's so cute. She's so tiny. I still, to this day, cannot believe that little bitty cat had 5 kittens. Well, she's all fixed now, so she ain't having any more. Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump off here for now. I definitely want to hear your feedback on this topic. Remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. I got to show you this. Look at the darkness coming in. I think we got more rain coming. I hope so. I really do. I hope we got some more rain coming in. That would be great. Definitely need we need a good day of a downpour and just steady, steady rain. That would be awesome. Also remember, guys, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you are trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from reaching those goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. Set your goals, make them happen. That's all it's about, realistically. That's all you got to do. And just don't listen to those negative people. They don't want you to succeed because they're so miserable They want to see everybody be failures like they are because they won't put the effort in to be successful. All right. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for